Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal 411, and I'm doing an update on my peptide journey. I've found that in my practice of integrative medicine, I think there's a lot of people that are motivated to make changes in lifestyle and hopefully change the direction of their disease process. In other words, get off medicines and get healthy and youthful again. The typical ways to do that, as far as exercise, nutrition changes, sleep optimization, and mindfulness practice, are incorporating those four things and getting your own basic blueprint on how to do that. If you're too into bad living or 50-hour work weeks or taking care of your parents and your kids, it's a little difficult. It's challenging to figure out where your rhythm is supposed to be and how aggressive you're supposed to be with implementing change. And it's frustrating when you implement change. I hear it a lot, and then it's like nothing happens. I don't lose the weight. I don't feel any younger. Or worse, I get injured. Today, I'm going to give you an update on the peptides I've been using. The shortcut to get you to optimize faster is to use hormones, medications, even peptides and supplements. Supplements are really slow. Peptides are quicker, but they're not covered by insurance. Neither are the supplements. Prescription medicines, they're usually covered by prescription coverage insurance cards. They have higher side effects. And then there's hormones that are always going to be prescription. Now, I know some of you will say, I can get that online and some back alley guy from China will send it to you, but you gotta be careful about what you get. The research on peptides is great. It's been out since the 70s. It was actually started outside the US, but you can find a lot of animal data that supports the use and application to peptides. I'll put the previous video I did. Peptides are essentially a chain of amino acids all put together. Everybody knows amino acids as being shorter than a protein molecule. Protein is a polygonal type of peptide. That means it has multiple forms of several different peptides together. But the basic analysis of what peptide is, it's either two or more amino acids put together in a line. And the peptides are not degraded by the liver or the kidneys, so it's really safe to use them. Then number two, they work to implement a signal. And usually with the body, you have these cascades that occur. You have an inflammatory cascade that occurs if you're exposed to injury or infection. You have a rebuilding cascade that occurs if you're exposed to exercise, hormone positive effects. You have a sleep cascade that occurs, initiates about the same time every night, and if you have the right parameters, it puts you into sleep. So all these cascades, these chain of events, happen hormonally and enzymatically in your body. Well, what if I was to give you an option to say we can speed that up and facilitate it without you necessarily going through the arduous task of changing your life too much? Now, you do have to do changes with lifestyle. You can't just do these peptides and expect that you're going to get to be youthful again. You have to invest in what I suggested: nutrition, exercise, mindful practice, and sleep optimization. So get your doctor or come and see me and we can give you that direction. But to shortcut, now I have to also tell you that I'll put a link to the representative of Lifewave that encouraged me to try this. And I was a little skeptical because the data on Lifewave's technology is patented, but after digging through information and reading about peptides, I was able to figure out how this works. These patches, I have one here and I have one here. These patches work by something of a process called photobiomodulation. And that's been well established, especially with you guys who do near-infrared therapy or vitamin D, for example. You can expose yourself to a certain wavelength of sunlight and it penetrates the skin and it produces vitamin D in your own body. This is genius because they use photobiomodulation to use your heat and trigger this patch to reflect wavelengths of light back to your body. Basic premise is to increase stem cell. So if you've ever seen any of my videos on fasting, the Walter Longo's fasting mimicking diet or intermittent fasting, those techniques work by manipulating food to turn on stem cell. For those of you who have arthritis, stem cells are those $1,000 injections that you put into a joint. You'll heal like Wolverine. You'll heal like a kid. If you're youthful and you get injured, you can repair yourself quickly. If you're old and you get injured, it takes forever. That's why it's so frustrating as you get older. Instead of taking your own cells injecting them back into a joint for thousands of bucks. Try an alternative way to get your stem cells going. And you can go through a subscription service, an email. You can also schedule a consult with my resource. So there's a couple of different, this is for nighttime, this is for healing, and these two are to optimize the way your body moves with your exercises. Aside from stem cell activation, is you turn on certain peptides in the body. Your body will make peptides. As you get older, it's slower. As you get more disease, it's slower. And sometimes if you inject or inhale peptides or eat peptides, you can speed up and jumpstart your own body in making those things and get youthful again or heal like a 20-year-old. In this anecdote video is number one, in the last 30 days, I've tried the series of these peptides, applying these day and night. And I implemented a exercise routine that's a little different than usual, but I don't think it's the exercise routine that made the difference. I was able to tolerate more muscle mass. I was able to get a DEXA scan that showed an improvement in muscle size and lean mass. And this is the hard part that I really found hard to understand. In all the DEXA scans I've had, the last DEXA scan I did last week showed that I put on bone mass. If you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, you probably are on a Fosamax to hopefully get the vitamin D and the calcium to get back into bone and stop your osteoporosis. In the last couple of DEXA scans over the last 5 years that I've done, I've never had bone thickness increase except for this last DEXA scan. That's anecdotal, but that's impactful. You know, there's no downside to this. It's not covered by insurance, but you might be able to pay for this with an HSA, health savings account, or an FSA, flexible spending account. Please contact my representative and she can go through the details with you. But if it doesn't cause any side effects and you're still on your journey to learn about resistance training, why not try this? Because I love the feeling of endorphin and enkephalin when I exercise, and I'm getting older, so I don't want to have the diseases that are coming my way, cancer, heart attack, stroke, and neurodementia. I don't want to have that. I want to postpone that till I'm 90 or 100. I want to see my great-grandkids go through college and do the great accomplishments that they're bound to do. I want to see my kids survive and do great. I want to be old with my wife and hold hands on the beach, but I'm going to be getting into more details on peptides that you can use. And I'm not sure if it's the 6x10s that did it or the photobiomodulation that did it, but I don't care. This is just information I'm giving to you to give it a try, especially if you're very stagnant, if you're trying your best and you're not getting anywhere, you're plateaued on your success, or you're getting injured. I think it's worth a try. Will you have to do this for a long amount of time? If you're just starting out, probably 3 months. If you're well-versed and you're kind of optimized already, do it for a month. And I think if you get the data points before and you get the data points after and you make no other changes, you can hopefully see the positive gains like I. And the final thing is, certainly muscle mass and exercise tolerance is a very subjective thing, but I had an increase in my HRV. I measure by my Garmin, I measure by the Oura Ring, and I have a Morpheus strap that I use every morning to measure my HRV, heart rate variability. And again, I didn't think it would happen, but that's definitely a parameter that all the ranges in the last 30 days have showed an increase. And I've been using these things for a while. I can't account for the increase except for the one variable. I mean, it's not my eating a low carbohydrate. I still do resistance. I've sprinkled in a little 5K running here and there, but this has probably been the most impactful. So you can take this information for what it's worth and evaluate it on your own. My suggestion is contact the representative that I have. You consider at least a month to 3 months of this treatment, but don't do anything else different. And if you're one of my patients, get some baseline tests. In going to my next video, I'll be talking about peptides. So if you want to subscribe and be aware of when I do it, we'll be on nasal spray peptides for memory and dementia optimization. I don't have dementia yet, but I'm trying to improve my memory. So we'll see what happens with that. But please subscribe or share this with other people who are on their journey or getting frustrated. I think this is a thumbs up. If you've ever wanted to experiment, you don't want to do shots and you just want to try patch application while you've optimized everything else, I'd say give it a try. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section down below and I'll get to them as best as I can. So thanks for watching.